This follows from my earlier lesson on how to recognise and, if you are so inclined, how to generate the perfect tense in Latin, and it covers some of the uses of that tense. I assume that you have seen my earlier lesson on the perfect tense. Whether or not you have, here it is. You will see that the perfect tense in Latin is made by taking the perfect stem, however formed, like so, and to this you add the personal endings for the perfect tense. Briefly put, the perfect tense describes a single completed action in the past. It's different from the imperfect tense, which is used to describe a continuous or an habitual action in the past. Something to bear continually in mind, and indeed this is the reason for a separate lesson on the uses of the perfect tense, is that what in Latin is called the perfect tense is actually two separate tenses. English, Greek, and a number of other Indo-European languages have what is called a simple past, or an aorist tense, and this describes a single action in an unspecified past. The other is called the true perfect, and this describes a single action which is either very close to the present or which has a continuing effect on the present. In Latin, both of these tenses are contained within what is called the perfect tense. To see what I'm talking about, take these sentences in English. In the aorist column, we have I cooked dinner. When you say I cooked dinner, you are referring to a single past event, but it is a past event in an unspecified time in the past. I cooked dinner. I might have cooked dinner yesterday, I might have cooked dinner last week, I might have cooked it 20 years ago. That there is nothing in that sentence in itself to suggest exactly when I cooked dinner. If, however, we look in the true perfect column, I have cooked dinner. What that means is, as I say in the explanation, I have cooked dinner and here it is on the table. When I say I have cooked dinner, I am talking about an event which is so close to the present that it might as well be in a kind of the present, or it is something which takes place in the past, but it has a continuing effect on the present. Going back to the aorist, I cooked dinner. I cooked dinner some time ago. It was eaten, the dishes were washed and put away. Maybe I've moved house since I cooked dinner. But when I say I have cooked dinner, there is at least the suggestion of a continuing effect on the present. Or take this one in the aorist column. I killed a man. I killed a man maybe a long time ago, maybe 30 years ago. It's not a nice confession to make, but you may not need to worry because it was perhaps a very long time ago. If, on the other hand, we look in the true perfect column and I say, I have killed a man, then you will look around for the body. The body may be over there. I have killed a man, and if I have killed a man, I may kill another, and it may be you. And so these two statements, I killed a man and I have killed a man, they're both statements about past events. But the true perfect statement, I have killed a man, that is much more relevant to where we are in the present. Here's an easier one. Someone stole my wallet. I'm making a statement once again about an unspecified time, about an unspecified past. Someone stole my wallet when I was last in London, which was last March. I don't know when someone stole my wallet. It could be a long time ago, it could be yesterday. It doesn't matter. Someone stole my wallet. It was a single action. It is now over and done with. I may not have the wallet back, but the act of stealing is over, and there are no relevant further causes flowing from that fact. If we look in the true perfect column, however, someone has stolen my wallet. Here, I look around with an accusing expression on my face. Was it you? Have you stolen my wallet? Have you stolen my wallet? Where is my wallet? This is a theft which is very close to the present, and therefore it is likely that the person who did steal my wallet is still around. So we have in English, and we have in Greek as well, if you are or are proposing to study this language, two distinct tenses which describe completed actions in the past. The aorist, or what is sometimes in English called the simple past, and the true perfect. And these two tenses are different. They're sufficiently different for them to be used a lot in English. Yet, what in Latin is called the perfect tense can be used to describe either of these kinds of action. Except when a subjunctive is used for a purpose or result clause, it is not always immediately clear which kind of action is being described. You must therefore make your own decision based on the context of the sentence, or even based on the passage as a whole. Here, for your convenience, is a repeat of the relevant paragraph of the previous slide. What is called the perfect tense in Latin can describe either an aorist or a true perfect action. Here, for your convenience, is a repeat of the relevant paragraph of the previous slide. What is called the perfect tense in Latin can describe either an aorist or a true perfect action. The form of the verb in itself doesn't tell you either way. You must make your own decision based on the context of the sentence or on the context of the passage as a whole. To see this double use of the tense in practice, take these sentences in Latin, and I've drawn them all from Book 2 of the Ecce Romani series. Here we have a statement by the rather greasy innkeeper in, I think, lesson 17. Hic multi cives praeclari pernoctaverunt. You translate that as, here many famous citizens have spent the night. And because the innkeeper is talking to prospective customers, and he is telling them that in the past, and hopefully in the present with these potential customers, and certainly hopefully in the future, that they do and will continue spending the night. Here many famous citizens have spent the night. It is a process which has not finished. It is hoped to continue into the present and into the future. Hic multi cives praeclari pernoctaverunt. Another sentence, this one indeed in Ecce Romani, following from the last. Olim hic pernoctavit etiam legatus principis. Once, even an envoy of the emperor spent the night here. This is, of course, not something which happens every day. The emperor's envoy may have stopped last month, last year, 5 years ago. Here the innkeeper is not describing an event necessarily very close to the present, but a single event at some point in the past. And so this is an aorist use of the perfect tense in Latin. Sextus tamen non obdormivit. Sextus, however, did not fall asleep. This is a story set in the past. It's a story set several thousand years ago nearly. Sextus did not fall asleep. It's not the case that Sextus has not fallen asleep. Sextus, I regret to say, is dead and has been dead a very long time, assuming he ever existed. And so again, an aorist use of the Latin perfect. Here is a statement that Sextus makes in the same story when he realizes that he is completely alone. In the book it's in quotation marks. O Euclides, cur ad cubiculum non venisti? O Euclides, why have you not come to the bedroom? You don't translate it as why did you not come to the bedroom, because the night is not yet over. There is still the possibility, at least, and certainly there is the desire, that Euclides should come to the bedroom and keep poor Sextus company, and so in this case we use a true perfect. Again in the book, this sentence is given in quotation marks. Nemo me adjuvare nunc potest, caupo enim mene cavit. No one can help me now, for the innkeeper has killed me. This is the spirit of a dead man appearing to his friend. The innkeeper has killed him. The innkeeper has just killed him. The act of killing was very close to the present, and so for this reason the true perfect is used. Here is another statement by the spirit of the dead man. Postquam hoc fecit, corpus meum in plaustro posuit. After he did this, he put my body in a wagon. We use the aorist to translate this particular statement. The reason is that it is a set of statements about the past. Undeniably, these are events which happened in the very recent past, but looking at the actions purely in themselves, they have no continuing effect on the present. Therefore, this particular use of the perfect in Latin is best translated into English as an aorist. How do we know when looking at a perfect tense in Latin if the intention is a true perfect or an aorist? There is no difference in the form of the verb. Exactly the same tense in Latin is used to describe both kinds of action. The answer is to look at the context in which the perfect tense is used. Remember, when looking at any particular sentence or passage, if the grammar is ambiguous, context is everything. What I would say then in closing is that when you encounter a perfect tense in Latin, stop and interrogate it. Ask yourself, based on the surrounding context, whether the writer is intending this to be an aorist use, he did something, or a true perfect use, he has done something. Indeed, I suspect that even now, if you are a nearly complete beginner, when you look at this kind of tense in Latin, you automatically, unthinkingly, get it right in English. You decide without conscious investigation, this translates as an aorist, this translates as a true perfect. Even so, I do urge you to stop at any given perfect tense and to interrogate its meaning. Thank you for having listened to this lesson.